hand is hot, Commish. The hot stove is burning, finally. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to 60 Feet 6 Inches, episode 10. Double digits now.
Nice.
It's finally starting to get up there. I was waiting for the off-season to kind of start heating up, and then the hot stove is just burning, Commish. I mean, yesterday.
Not burning here in Atlanta.
No, but that's okay. All of Major League Baseball is pretty much burning, and it comes actually – today's episode is actually labeled Winter Wonder Meetings. You know, so on this day in baseball history, which is my favorite part of the show, I'm actually taking today as today in baseball history because you have a lot of deals, which we're going to get into, and we're going to talk about regular season awards, also trades that are happening, some free agents, and then the big free agents, top free agents, and also what, you know, teams are looking for. I mean, because there's a lot of guys that are free agents looking for, but I've seen teams that are, if they've got their eye on one guy and they don't get him, they can pivot to another position to try to get other guys there. But on this day in baseball history, December 6th, 2022, technically this is really marked for yesterday.
Yeah, you
but
Yeah, history goes. Yeah, I guess yesterday could be.
Everybody
history.
go
Today's
and
not
look.
History, but
go and look and see if there's any kind of history on December 6th in baseball. It's pretty slim picking, so we're going to make up our own. Justin Verlander signs a record average annual salary with the Mets at 2 years, $86 million. So him and Scherzer are right at that mark with $43.3 million. So I'm guessing if Verlander and Scherzer aren't getting any more than that, then I think that's probably the line where it gets drawn for the most a pitcher can be paid. But, you know, who knows? And he's got a no-trade clause, and he also has a club option at $35 million. So this could be dragging out even more. Well, 4 days before that, Mets fans, they're not feeling too good right now because Jacob deGrom literally went fast. And Chris Young and the Texas Rangers scooped him up, gave him 5 years, $185 million with a club option, so it can branch out about $2 million, $22.
Getting Verlander though, if I had to choose between Verlander or DeGrom, I think I'm going Verlander.
Healthy, right?
Yeah,
consistent.
That's the thing.
That's a better deal.
But the Mets are losing a lot of other pieces. The NL East pitching rotations are freaking insane.
You lose DeGrom, you get Verlander. I guess they had to, right? They almost had to, because I know Jacob. He's not a player that publicly tarnishes a team, but it's been pretty well known he hasn't been happy in New York and Queens, and he was leaving even in spring training. He was saying he was leaving. But maybe some Mets fans thought that somehow they could bring him back, maybe work out another deal. But I think it's one of those things to where you just got to leave well enough alone, move on, be better for everybody. And it seems like Texas is definitely in that win-now mode after they made all those signings year before last. And then, this past season they didn't really do much. So maybe this is more of a solidification to see, hey, this is where we're going to be. We're going to try to go for it all right here. And even if we have to break the bank. But if you can get at least 20 to 25 starts out of DeGrom, I mean, I'd say that's a win.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll happen. We'll see.
I don't know either, Commish. But that's a big deal right there. I mean, 5 years for Jacob deGrom whenever it was pretty rare that he was setting foot on the baseball field. Not that that's a bad thing, because I consider him, whenever he's healthy, the best pitcher in the major leagues.
Absolutely. And
he's very exciting to watch pitch. But we'll see how he's got an impact in Texas. It'll be a definite impact, that's for sure. But
so when talking starting pitching, I'm trying to think, there's probably only one more guy out there that's legit top-notch starter.
Rodon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Top-notch lefty, too.
Yeah, I was thinking of, it's funny because the Yankees came up to me because I was thinking of Nestor Cortez. And he's a good pitcher, but maybe if they added Rondon, if they can't get Aaron Judge. But obviously he's very intelligent. He's playing a chess game right now. So he's leveraging, which is, to be honest, his right to do. He should do that. But if he was going to sign with the Yankees, do you think they would have scooped him up by now?
You would think so. I'm getting the big feel that San
Francisco.
There.
Yeah. It's not a short porch, though. It's not like he's a lefty, so he's not going to be hitting him.
He doesn't need a short
McCovey
porch.
Cove. You're right, he doesn't. But it'd be nice. I mean, he's definitely not going to hit 62 again. He was healthy 100%. I'm not saying he's not healthy throughout the season, but he has missed a lot of time. But at least you can see what he can do whenever he is healthy. He's not going to hit 62 every year, but he maybe give you at least 50, 55, So the Giants are making a pretty hard push.
And they probably, I get it, that division. I think the Dodgers are going to be down. Obviously, you're going to talk about the Trey Turner deal. But, the Padres are there. So they have to make a move, San Fran, or they're going to get left in that division. I
think that since Posey left, I think that they need a new face of the franchise. Crawford's older, not old, but older.
He's not a face of the franchise,
right?
Though, that type of guy.
Exactly. Somebody that can really put people in the seats. Oracle Park or AT&T Park, whatever it's called now. I'm sorry, fans. But they have a pretty good fan base. But, if you got Aaron Judge, my goodness. I can picture him in a San Fran uniform. San Francisco Giants, number 99, Aaron Judge.
We'd get to see him.
We would. That's right, with the balanced schedule.
Well, now with the balanced schedule, you get to see a little bit of everybody, don't you?
Yes, you do. If that wasn't enough, Commish, Philadelphia Phillies and Dave Dombrowski come in. They don't give Trey Turner 9 years. They don't give him 10. Commish, they give him 11 years, $300 million. This guy's going to be in Philly and the city of brotherly love past 40. Is he going to be playing short all those years?
Man, I don't know, but these next few years for sure, over the next 5 years or so.
In the NL East?
The Phillies' offensive lineup is brutal. In a bad way for a Braves fan. When you look at probably the best hitting catcher around in Real Muto, and then, of course, Bryce Harper, Schwarber, Hoskins, Alec Baum's coming into his own.
That's right. Stott's going to be moved to second.
Because Segura's gone, right?
That's right. So that was perfect for them.
And then you can't count out, guys like Castellanos.
Castellanos started to come into it last year. I think what it is certain executives and baseball executives have certain guys that may not be the most talented, but they're good meshing in the clubhouse. And I think that Castellanos just needed that change of scenery. Detroit, he had it where he did all right. And then Cincinnati just didn't click. And then when he came to Philly, who wouldn't be happy with all those guys around you, around the line?
Yeah, they're going to be pretty loaded.
Yeah.
So, and they have some decent pitching too.
Wheeler, Nola, Suarez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens if they go out and get somebody like Rodon?
Can you say 2000s Phillies domination repeat? It's like you go out and get Cliff Lee all over again. But Zach Eflin, he's gone. So they lost a couple pitchers. They lost Brad Hand, he's gone. They've got a couple guys. They got Alvarado, which he's a good relief pitcher, but they need to do some jamming in the bullpen. I'm glad they got Trey Turner. Well, I'm actually not glad, but they got their guy, but they need to work on pitching, And maybe Rondon is going to be one of those guys. I'm still thinking that there's a mystery team out there that's got to be bidding for these free agents. Like I saw a crazy article with some of the remaining free agents, and we'll get on to that Arizona, just this random team. I'm going to go all out and be the Colorado Rockies and break the bank for Chris Bryant. And he never plays. I saw Bud Black on MLB Network, and he was talking about Chris Bryant, and he said, well, we love what he does. We love him as a player, great teammate. We just got to get him on the field. I'm thinking, well, that's the general idea when you sign him, is thinking that he's going to play, But moving on from that, that's a pretty big, this day in baseball history, Commish. I kind of just
we sort of spun off.
I kind of hijacked that, but that's okay. That's all right. But a lot of exciting stuff that's going on. And before we get into free agency, we're going to talk about the MLB awards. They came around because it's been almost a whole month, and I wanted to give that little bit of a break just so there could be a little bit of a build-up, just so we can have plenty of content to talk about and have all the fans that are looking at baseball all year long have a little bit of a break. But now we're back into it, and so the MVPs for each league. I mean, we had talked about that throughout the season, Commish. It was pretty obvious. Aaron Judge and Goldie both took it away. The Cy Youngs, Verlander was pretty easy, and then Alcantara was pretty easy in the NL and AL. Either way, Rookie of the Year.
Alcantara, man. There's another one in the NL.
Yep.
In our division.
And if the Marlins are smart, they won't ever let him go.
He is so good.
Very good. Yeah. And so you got Julio Rodriguez and Michael Harris, the second one, in Rookie of the Years. Those were both pretty cut and dry. It was pretty close between Strider and Harris.
Yeah.
And they were both on MLB Network. And Spencer he's a stand-up guy. He was pretty excited that it was his teammate.
Of course he is.
Yeah, because he's going to be playing behind him.
He's a Clemson guy.
That's right. Hoorah. But this week, the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee actually voted, which they're going to start doing.
The inaugural year, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was going on.
It just started.
I saw that.
Once every 3 years. So they have the Contemporary Baseball Era once every 3 years, and they also have – so the Contemporary – before I move forward, the Contemporary Era is between 1980 and now, and then there's another one. It's called actually two more, the contemporary baseballs for managers, executives, and umpires. And then you have what is called a classic baseball era. That's from before leading up to 1980. So all the way leading up to 1980 in the past, and then now it's 1980 to present. So 16 guys voted. They had to be out of baseball for at least 15 years. Executive, player, or at least some kind of heavy involved.
Yeah, some of the players were Ryan Sandberg. Who was the big one?
Chipper, but he was sick.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Oh yeah, Greg Maddux.
And Tommy.
No,
I'm sorry. Mad Dog was there, not Tommy. Yeah. It was Chipper. Chipper got sick, and then they got.
There's some others.
I don't know how they guys qualified for it, because whenever Chipper got sick, they just.
There's a combination. There's probably only like 5 or 6 players, probably 5.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
And then a lot of the executives.
Yeah. So
yeah, you had to get what 75%.
75%.
So you had to get 12 votes.
Yep, that's it. The ballots with the votees on here with the players: Albert Bell, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Don Mattingly, Fred McGriff, Dale Murphy, Palmeiro, and Curt Schilling. Great class, really great class. I thought that Albert Bell might be a shoo-in.
Mattingly was second.
Mattingly was second.
With 8?
8, yep. And then I thought Schilling was going to get more.
Gosh, it just comes to show you that
it's not just about baseball.
It's not. I mean, you look at the past. I mean, if it was just about baseball, Pete Rose would be in my opinion.
He should be in.
But, when you do stupid things, you say stupid things like Schilling, then, I mean, yeah, it's going to come back to haunt you, man. And then, of course, Bonds and Clemens in that, quote, steroid era. So,
can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
And this is, I don't know if this is a hot take or anything, but, during that time, you pick apart the players, and then once you do all that, you kind of come back down, maybe air out everything that you had to think about, and then you look at the stats. What's the saying, Commish? Numbers don't lie.
I mean, Clemens, 350-plus wins?
Mm-hmm.
Bonds, we all know what he did with home runs.
You still got to...
Do I think they belong? I think they should be in. That's just me.
Under some kind of special circumstances, maybe?
No, either you're in or you're not. No, let's not do this asterisk garbage.
So you think Bonds has got 7 MVPs. I mean, he's the only person to have 400 steals and 400 home runs, 500 steals, 500 home runs, 7 MVPs. Good gosh, 12 Silver Sluggers. With performance enhancement to increase your ability to hit the ball. In all fairness, got to still be able to hit the ball, right, Commish?
I would think so.
95 coming at you. You
It's
still got to be able to square it up, don't you?
Yeah, it's still catching that ball with your eyeballs, right? I mean, in reaction.
That's where it gets kind of tough, only because the ability itself is there, right? But then you have adhesives that help you get to that point. And maybe I look at it as a lot of these players during that time may have pitched during one of those outings where one of these guys just went off, and then those guys got cut next week because Barry Bonds comes up and hits 3 home runs off you in one game. Now, keep in mind, I don't know a lot of these players' history. Maybe they were going to go down anyways, but you know what I'm saying, Commish? So I try to look at it in the middle, but I also look at somebody like Schilling, who's never been linked to anything like that. But because maybe he doesn't choose to have a filter whenever he talks.
He chooses? He has no filter.
He doesn't.
He's a doomass, as I'd like to call him.
So he'll make comments, and then the Baseball Writers Association of America will look at Curt Schilling, and then they see somebody else's name there.
So let's do a little game here that I used to play. It's called Keep It, Shelf It, Ditch It. Okay? And we're talking Hall of Fame.
All right.
Who are you going to keep? Who are you going to put on the shelf? And who are you going to ditch? Schilling, Clemens, Bonds.
My goodness. I'm ditching Schilling. I'm keeping Bonds. And I'm shelving Clemens.
That's what I would do. That'd be my order.
Yeah, and it put me in a tough spot. I'm sorry, Schilling.
What's your guts on 2-time MVP
Dale Murphy?
Local boy.
Well, during that time, I mean,
He can't get all of his kids to vote for him?
I know. How many's he got?
I don't know.
Gosh, that's a big old family. I would say through that 10-year span, there was nobody better. There wasn't. And it's funny because even Crime Dog was talking about Andrew and Murphy and Sheffield. You want to talk about power? I would be afraid of that man if he came in the batter's box. But good thing that circle, the pitching mound, the rubber, 60 feet, 6 inches away, you can't even touch me. But, I mean, I used to love watching him hit because you either knew something was going to happen. Him. I mean, he can't touch me.
Oh, he could.
I mean, he could, but...
Robin Ventura tried to touch Nolan Ryan. That didn't work out too well for him.
Well, that's a different story. He's coming at the Nolan Ryan Express. He got on the train tracks. Ventura as a rookie, that taught him a lot. I'm sure it did.
If you haven't watched that special or that documentary on Nolan,
oh, so good.
It's really good.
So good.
Everybody was interviewed.
Chasing Nolan? Is that what it's called? Chasing Nolan?
Yeah.
Chasing Nolan. Yeah, so if everybody hasn't seen that, a great new baseball documentary where it's really, really good. And then you see Nolan Ryan throw out the first pitch, and it's like 82.
Just a good old boy.
Yeah. But so you have all these players that got voted, they were on the ballot. Freddie, Crime Dog, he made it. And he was very excited.
So what was the criteria to be on this ballot? You had to be out of the league for 15 years?
Mm-hmm. Out of the league 15 years. And then these were voted by a lot of the players within that era. So it's almost like they've started this new era like they had before with the Players Committee where they would vote like this, was it last year or 2 years ago with David Ortiz, how he got in, Big Papi got in, I think. And then so they'll have this once every 3 years.
Andrew Jones didn't qualify to be on this list yet?
Nope, which is kind of ridiculous.
I mean, does he meet the criteria?
He was on the ballot, and then he didn't get enough votes to actually
to get it narrowed down.
Right, exactly.
Is that how they do it from the big ballot?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So you have stages, and then Crime Dog talks about and he is the exact same. Speed's the exact same. He's got the same personality. He's very happy. He's smiling all the time, And he was talking about his hitting because D-Row was on there, and he's talking about, and Sean Casey were talking to him about his swing and if there were certain things that he did just to stay simple. And he said the tee was my best friend, which usually all the great hitters that's what they say. You hit off the tee, no big deal. And D-Row was talking about how he came to spring training in '97 when the Braves were sharing the facility with the Expos. And he said he snuck in there and saw Fred McGriff hitting, and he was back then they're using those yellow dipple balls. And he said that Fred McGriff took like 3 or 4 buckets straight, just watching balls, not even swinging, just focusing on keeping his shoulder back or keeping his shoulder down without dipping, making sure he was keeping his hands straight. So he was in the cage for so long, just perfecting what he did, and I guess it paid off. So it was really exciting. He was talking about, wearing the Hall of Fame uniform, how he's never going to take it off. And it's funny because the guys asked him, well, what hat are you going to wear in your picture? And he was like, he kind of moved away from the mic.
Does he go in as a Brave?
I would think so, because that's probably the most impactful that he had in his career. 5 years with the Blue Jays, a couple with the Padres, and a couple with the Dodgers and with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. But I would think his time in Atlanta was probably the most memorable, only because of how clutch he was for the team. And
some of them go in now without a.
Maddox did that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the Cubbies.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget the first day McGriff got here to Atlanta.
Walk-off home run, baby.
What else happened on that day?
Oh, yeah, fire.
The press box
That's
fire.
Right. The press box caught on fire. That's
big
right.
time. Big
That's
time
right.
caught on fire.
I forgot about that. Wow. How did Ted Turner explain that one?
Well, I don't know.
He said, it's a fire sale for real. Maybe he was trying to get some insurance policy from that money he got. John Sherrill said, I don't know, man. He's pretty expensive. You got to do something. We burn that press box, get some additional insurance money. But, and I was looking back at a lot of his highlights because, they show him. His swing was very compact. I loved his swing. A little helicopter finish. I think I was doing that, playing wiffle ball and stuff like that. But great player. I think, 10 plus years, consecutive years with 30 plus home runs, that's tough. I think the last person we were talking about that was Pujols, wasn't it? But good player. I'm glad it happened to him. If anybody, Crime Dog, very well deserved. Congratulations. And like he said last night, he's going to be a Hall of Fame forever. So that's great. And I'm sure that he'll get some of commemoration from the Braves, which he's already had it, but I'm sure they'll give him a pat on the back as well, and, something special. He'll definitely probably see him maybe opening week at Truist Park or something like that, which would be fantastic. But yeah, so you have the 3 contemporary new ballads that will be once every 3 years, different categories for non-players, players, and then players from 1980 to now, and then from the past all the way up to 1980. So they'll do that once every 3 years, Commish. So we'll see, if a lot of these same guys, which I'm sure are going to be on the ballot, and I'm sure probably Don Mattingly's probably the next one to go just because of how consistent he was. And if he didn't have a back injury, I can't imagine how much longer he would have played. And, the consistent numbers that where he hit, career 330, who's to say it could have been 340, 345, But exciting stuff. A lot of baseball stuff has been happening, and I've just been eating it up because there hasn't been almost anything, But just going over, just to highlight McGriff's, numbers from where they were talking about where he had the most impact was 1989 to 1994. Okay, so within that time, he had 208 home runs, which was first out of anybody. He had 585 RBIs, ranked 5th. On base percentage, 392, ranked 8th. His slugging percentage was 543, 4th. OPS plus was 155. He was ranked 5th. And then win probability added, which means he was 25.7, which he was only second to Barry Bonds. So basically saying the win probability added is if, let's just say a team is up 10-1, 10-0, and then the team that's up 10 hits a home run. The win probability goes down, but let's just say Crime Dog had bases loaded and they were down, and then that home run got them ahead. His win probability goes up. So he was actually the guy, other than Barry Bonds, that you wanted on your team. Like Bobby Cox said, anywhere he goes, he's going to be hitting third. So that was really interesting, and it kind of justifies why, and also he'll have that for the rest of his life, and a lot of other players that will get in. And Dale Murphy's close. Andrew, he's got to be close. Andrew Jones with 10 consecutive Gold Gloves in center field. Even Willie Mays said it. I've never seen anybody better. Willie Mays himself, so that should give Andrew a little bit of street cred. maybe some of the writers will take that into consideration, and we'll see what's coming within 3 years, But this just in. The Yankees actually have made a signing, Commish. 4-year deal. Brian Cashman.
Not a player.
VP and GM of baseball executives of baseball operations in the Bronx. So the Steinbrenner family is bringing back Brian Cashman. Does that mean that Aaron Judge is coming back to the Bronx?
I don't know.
I mean, they wouldn't announce him getting re-signed after Judge goes somewhere else. That wouldn't be a good look, Hey, we just signed Brian Cashman, but Aaron Judge is going to San Francisco.
Who knows with the Yankees?
They're not the powerhouse spender anymore.
No, obviously not.
They got all their money into Garrett Cole, pretty much.
Mets are the powerhouse spender. I mean, you look at Verlander and Scherzer, their deal.
Oh, Big Stevie over there in Queens said, get out of here, I'm spending money.
I think the whole Atlanta Braves starting lineup is underneath that amount.
$76 million is Strider, Harris, Acuna, Olsen, Albies, and Riley. And Scherzer and Verlander are both combined making more than those players. What happens now if you don't win in Queens? There's a big problem now.
There will be.
But yeah, exactly, because they're not going to. They're going to Met like they always do.
They're in trouble, dude. You look at, what do they have? Weirdo Pete Alonso.
McCann, which they're thinking about trading him.
Nemo's gone.
McNeil, he's a free agent also. I'm pretty sure. Is he?
Lindor.
I think he is, yeah. Lindor's and then you got Eduardo at third, which I don't know if they're going to keep him there or maybe move something.
I'm not scared of them.
No. Chris Bassett, Taijuan Walker, two guys that are free agents also, but Taijuan Walker, no thanks. No thanks. Chris Bassett's going to want 4 or 5 years, and the Mets are like,
they're going to be another Marlins. Good pitching.
Terrible offense, or just can't hit. That's the thing.
That one guy, Alonso, will hit one for you every now and then.
You got Lindor.
Yeah, I'm not.
He has been a shell of himself since he's left Cleveland.
Obviously, we talked about the Phillies earlier, but what are the Braves going to do at shortstop?
Dansby's getting married. He's getting married to Mallory.
Oh boy.
And that's a busy week.
Does she, I know she plays
Chicago.
For Chicago. Does she live there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she has to, because I'm sure
there's
soccer season.
But Cubbies would love to have Dansby.
Well, they didn't sign Contreras for a reason. And they're about to let go of Hayward's last year. They're about to open up some payroll. I could see the Cubs going after Swanson or Bogarts. You got Xander, Dansby, and Correa. Still.
Well, Correa's probably the least that will go somewhere. I think he'll stay.
He'll probably go back to Minnesota because, they have a decent team there. But the thing is other than maybe Byron Buxton, you don't, and he's rarely healthy. You only have him. Sonny Gray's going to be a free agent. You got 2 other pitchers that are going to be gone. It's not like you have Donaldson there anymore. They literally just traded Gio Urshela to help Rendon out in Anaheim.
And the Braves rejected Swanson's deal, right? 19 what?
Million, just 1 year.
No, I thought they came back. I thought they wanted 6 for 140.
I haven't heard that.
Swanson and his agent, and Braves said nada.
Well, that's not good.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. I don't think I just pulled that out.
No, I'm sure you didn't. But if they're going to go that route, Dansby is exactly what you need as far as defensive shortstop. That's what you need. Right? That's why the Wizard was there. That's why Ozzy's in the Hall of Fame, because of his glove. But if Atlanta Braves fans will look at this from afar, you have Dansby, yes, great guy, hometown guy, great at shortstop. Don't want anybody else there. Won a Gold Glove there. Hit 30 home runs 2 seasons ago. He's probably going to be around 280, 285 maybe. But Bogarts is going to give you maybe 305, 310. Maybe going to give you a good glove at shortstop, but it's not going to have. It's not going to be caliber like Dansby Swanson's going to be.
Or Von Grissom.
Oh my gosh, I love Ron Washington, but Wash, don't you dare put Von Grissom at shortstop. He's not ready. Go ahead.
He better be ready.
He's not ready.
If we don't bring in Bogarts or Swanson, he's got to be ready.
Oh my gosh. Move Ozzie back to short.
No.
I'm not ready for Vaughn yet. I'm not. Can't do Grissom yet. Not ready. I'm not ready. Atlanta fans, you're not ready. MLB is not ready.
And they're making an effort for him to work out with Washington over the
I know. He's going to New Orleans, going to see Wash, which is great. He's going to be better. But you don't want Vaughn Grissom starting shortstop yet.
No, but there's not going to be any other choice.
I'm torn. So I'm going to go with, of course, this is a biased take, okay? This is we have left MLB. We're just circling the Atlanta Braves right now.
You think they're going to get the deal done with Swanson?
Yes. But I'm not saying that me personally as a fan, I want Dansby. If we had a chance to get Xander Bogaerts, I'd go after Xander Bogaerts. That offense is there. And he's I like Dansby's mentality as a strong captain kind of type. I also like Xander Bogaerts, who's a quiet, strong type who just plays. I have a certain amount of respect for guys that just, let the motion, kind of stay at an even keel and let their playing ability just take over.
So that'd almost be like 2 years in a row where we lose our leader in the clubhouse.
But
hold on. So like the year before, Freddie gone. Obviously, he was the leader in the clubhouse.
Right.
Obviously, last year, Swanson leader in the clubhouse. However, the Braves sort of have this group. There's not really a, quote, leader.
It's like the red and black NWO.
I mean, let's be for real. Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna, those guys, they're not going to. It's like leadership by committee almost. Right? It's not, this guy's been here, he's going to tell me what to do. No, those guys aren't going to listen.
Right. It's a group.
I guess Albies could be a leader.
He could be. And Darno, Riley needs to step up, be that leader. Because Matt Olson's not going to. Matt Olson's a great guy.
Speaking of Darno.
Yeah.
What are these rumors of Sean Murphy?
Oh, they got shot down.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. I would have loved to have Sean Murphy, but, we have Darno and we have Contreras.
Right.
And not to mention we have Manny Pena.
Why was that even mentioned then?
I think it's one of those things to where if it's an opportunity where you can improve your club, it's one of those things. But I don't want it to backfire like it did with Teixeira, where he plays here for 3 months and then we lose a lot of guys and then we don't have him back. I think it was one of those times to where if circumstances saying, hey, if he's available, we would love to have him, even though we do have depth in catching. But, Sean Murphy's a 280 guy hitting 20-plus home runs every year. That's not bad. But if Darno is starting every year, he's going to do that, if not more. And Contreras, my goodness, blessing. Got you another catcher and another DH.
Can he play a little outfield? He did a little bit, didn't he?
He did. He played a couple games in left field.
But we got our boy Duvall back.
No. You know what the Braves do? You trade.
Okay, AA. Let's see.
Ian Anderson.
Yeah, who? Okay.
Ian Anderson. You trade Marcell Ozuna and Eddie Rosario for Brian Reynolds. I'm sorry.
Oh, Brian Reynolds.
Yeah, Brian Anderson. Going way back.
That's something that the Pirates might do. Isn't Reynolds with Pirates still?
Yeah, he literally came out 2 days ago and said, I want to be out.
Well,
he came out and said he wants to be traded. Yeah. And then it's so funny, the owner and VP of baseball operations said, well, we're not trading him. He's just going to have to relax. But I was thinking, hold on. Why? And speaking of Pirates, they signed Carlos Santana to a 1-year deal. $6.5 million. 6 3/4, almost 7. Why? That is weird.
It's the Pirates.
That's crazy.
Brian Reynolds would be a good addition.
Absolutely. Now you have your whole outfield. Harris, Acuna, and right. You got Brian Reynolds left. My goodness.
Let Duvall DH a little bit. Till he's consistently under 200. Not batting his weight.
I mean, if he's going to be at the Mendoza line, but he's going to give me 35 home runs, which I don't know if that's possible. Joey Gallo, is that possible? It might be. Possibly. That's not a shot, Joey. I love you.
I mean, there's really not a lot that the Braves need, right?
No.
And they could probably get by. They got to get a shortstop, dude.
That's the number one thing. And possible reunion with Jason Hayward, maybe, and Craig Kimbrell.
No. Please don't even say that. You aren't serious.
No. Maybe the Craig Kimbrell, maybe. If it was like a $3 million deal, I would take a chance on it.
We're going to Iglesias, I think. I think we're going to stick with that.
Yeah, Russell is locked in because Kinley's a free agent too. Correct. And he had the most saves, so I don't think he'll have a problem getting a job. The Pirates are going to come get him.
I'm just tired of seeing that hitch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That gets on your nerves, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it messes up your timing. I can't imagine being a hitter. I can't imagine being a hitter. But so you have Xander. I was thinking he may be going back to Boston only because of their needs. But he opted out for a reason. But we've seen plenty of times before Strasburg. He's opted out and then he's gone back to Washington. Which Steven Strasburg, are you still playing baseball?
Seriously,
are you still playing? Are you still pitching?
Well, I thought he was camping out with Matt Harvey somewhere.
Matt Harvey's coming back.
No, he's not.
He's trying to make a comeback.
No,
yes,
not.
he is.
Oh,
he's trying to make a comeback.
So, now that Trey Turner's gone from Dodgers,
that's actually good for Xander and Dansby because it just bumped up their value a little bit too.
I understand that, but is that something, the Dodgers are going to go for, or are they going to move over, what's his name?
Gavin Lux. No, I don't think so. You know what you could do? Put Gavin Lux at second, put Mookie at short. Hey, they've been saying that Mookie's been tearing it up at second base. Now, I know the range is completely different, but Mookie can move.
Can't move Mookie out of center.
Oh, you could put Trace Thompson back there.
Michael Harris play short.
I mean, what was it? What were we talking about? The Dodgers. I was talking about the Dodgers. Tristan Thomas was I was talking about. Putting him in center, and you could put Gavin in right or Gavin and Lux in center. Don't put Gavin in center because that poor guy.
Not too worried about.
Gavin had a tough time in center during that playoff against the Braves. That poor guy can't catch a fly ball to save his life. Jeez, but we have those top free agents. They're going to be falling down within the next couple of days because once Verlander and then DeGrom went and then Trey Turner went, I was thinking, wow, it's going to start coming up quick.
Yeah,
and the hot stove's going to keep on burning.
Yeah, the big ones like we said, Swanson. Well, the shortstops, Swanson, Bogarts. Who was the other one? Rodon
and Aaron Judge.
Yeah, Judge. Whatever. Let's go Yankees or Giants. All right, just get the deal done.
Supposedly, Aaron Judge told his representatives that he was going to make a decision by Wednesday the 7th. So that would be tomorrow. So is he going to show up to the winter meetings and just rub elbows with everybody?
We got money. We got room in left.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'd take Aaron Judge. That short porch in right field, if he just barely hits an oppo, it's going to go.
So you get Judge, you good with Von Grissom playing short?
I'll take it. We solved. He's pretty much hitting. Aaron Judge be hitting for two people, pretty much for two players. And whatever Von Grissom doesn't do, say, hey man, we'll give you a 2 years learning curve. Just go out there and just play. Aaron's going to take care of it. We're going to lead him off. We're going to put Acuna in the cleanup spot. But I mean, like I said before, if those are some needs that some teams are willing to go, even though they're not looking for that. If some teams will pivot, saying they're looking for a shortstop and they didn't get it, well, let's just pivot towards the right field. Like the Yankees, if they don't get Judge, maybe they're going to pivot towards Carlos Rondon or something like that, somehow to improve their team. Because one, you got to do something about offense. Donaldson was, goodness, a bringer of rain is something of the past. Bringer of dust. Pretty much, because it's like nothing whenever he hits. So they need some help. But you got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at short, and Aaron Boone loves that guy. I mean, he loves him. Seriously, he loves his defense. Could they be going out and get a shortstop? I mean, who was the last shortstop for the Yankees that actually had an impact? Didi? And that's been a couple years. I mean, they got Oswald Peraza.
I don't know what the Yankees are doing.
They got Oswald Peraza, which he's not bad. Good shortstop. But they're probably just putting all their chips toward Judge. I mean, because they're going to probably name him a captain, if he signs. But we'll see. I mean,
we should know by your next episode.
Yes, we will know. Stay tuned. But, I mean, there has been a lot of players that really wasted no time. I mean, the Angels, have you seen what the Angels been doing? Okay, so the Angels signed Tyler Anderson to a 4-year deal, so to kind of solidify their rotation. They traded, like we talked about earlier, traded for Gio Urshela, just in case if Anthony Rendon is not healthy. And they also got Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe traded, and now they've got Hunter Renfroe in right field. Helped Trout out a little bit, And then they also signed Carlos Estevez yesterday for 2 years, 13.5, which he was great in Colorado. Good pitcher in Colorado. So maybe they were looking at him, kind of scoop him up, maybe because Colorado's.
I mean, that's the deal with the Angels, right? They got to get their pitching under figured out,
and they are. Perry's doing that. He's looking at needs. I'm kind of confused by the Gio Urshela. Maybe because Anthony Rendon's taking some time out last year. He broke his hand, all that stuff. But maybe they're just bench help, or maybe they'll trade Gio later down the road once he gets a little bit of value or something like that. But other stuff, around the league, Dodgers re-signed Kershaw. He's still getting paid 1 year, $20 million. Just take it to the bank, baby. That's like his record number, or just setting number. Hey, one year, $20 million. All right, we'll take it. Mike Clevenger, he's going to the White Sox. They're paying him $12 million, which, I mean, he didn't really came back. He came back last year, but didn't really come back. Maybe this is one of those, let me reestablish how I am as a pitcher year deal, you know what I mean? Give him one good shot. Kyle Gibson, which this is kind of strange. Phillies lost Kyle Gibson. He went to the Orioles. They're paying him $10 million, which is not bad. I mean, the Orioles are not far from contention until they let go of their best relief pitcher last year. I don't know why they did that. But I mean, he's projected to get 30 starts, 190 innings. I mean, would you pay $10 million for a guy like that? He's going to have like a 4.5 ERA. But he's going to give you 190 innings.
Yeah.
It's not bad, right? But, and then Carlos Santana going to the Pirates. I don't understand what y'all are doing up there. Jeez. All these free agents, all these guys that are going to get signed. I mean, obviously it's coming. The hot stove has been burning for a couple of days now, and they're keeping on turning up the heat. Commish, I saw Trey Turner's deal. I about fell out yesterday. Oh my gosh! Right.
Back up the Brinks truck.
So, where does Turner hit in that lineup? But you gotta have him lead off, right? Are you still going to keep Schwarber lead off? Maybe hit him 2 hole since it's lefty righty or righty lefty.
You got to put Turner in lead off.
Got it. Because I mean, he's either going to bunch you a single. Because he has the most, isn't it the most infield singles? Within like this era for sure.
I mean, yeah, you can put Schwarber at 2, right? So because who was that too? Hoskins?
Schwarber. Who?
No, it wasn't Hoskins.
Who was batting second? Was it Segura? Because they're not going to go lefty right up. It might have been Hoskins. Schwarber, Hoskins, and then Harper.
I don't know. But anyway, I don't think,
wherever that hole was, they definitely filled it.
Problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dave Dombrowski is, geez. He's doing exactly what he did in Detroit, doing exactly what he did in Boston. I mean, he's just, you got to commend executives like that and general managers, but he's good. But he's not as good as Alex Anthopoulos, because Alex Anthopoulos won 2022 Executive of the Year, baby.
He did.
And surprised? No.
No.
I'm not. We see this guy every day. We know he's a genius. Fugazi is not even in his vocabulary. He just does it straight up. I say, I don't got to trick you. I'll just do it right in front of you. So he's waiting in the wing, waiting for, obviously, I'm sure Dansby and him. I like to think that Alex Anthopoulos, since we're talking about the Braves, I would think he's a pretty good guy as far as communication. What do you think? He's a pretty cool GM to have. So I'm thinking that, maybe Dansby, here's a little wedding gift.
Oh, you think?
How about a 7-year deal?
His kid played with frickin' little Freeman.
Oh, did he really?
They were friends. Charlie and his kid were friends. And he said, see ya, Freddie.
So that's why he was upset. So it gets deeper. It gets deeper. So that's why he was so upset in spring training.
AA crosses that line. He's all business.
I agree, and that's what I like about him. He knows how to turn on and turn off. That's why I tell you all the time, I compare him so much to John Schuerholz. So much. I think that's why they hired him. He has a great mind as far as whenever it's business, but then whenever he comes to being a people person, I think that, everybody talks about how much they love playing for him and playing for Brian Snitker and playing for the front office. We're not too hot on Brian Snitker. I wanted Dusty Baker, to be honest, but it's okay. We got the Atlanta Braves got a championship in 2021.
Don't bring your toothpick and wristbands and all that garbage here. Batting gloves, whatever the hell he wears on his hands.
Speaking of Dusty, I heard an interview with him when he was at the winter meetings, and they were interviewing him about how he felt, a little bit of time after the World Series title, how he feels getting a ring and all that good stuff. And then he was talking about how everybody that he knew, a lot of people didn't believe that he was the right man for the job. Because they were saying, we've always rooted for you. We know you're going to do it. And he interrupts and says, well, a lot of people around me didn't. He talked about his father always saying, during the 2000s when he was with Cincy and when he was with San Francisco, and his father was telling him, he said, I'm not being negative, but he said that, I just, the World Series, I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't see it. 22 years later, that happens. So listening to Dusty talk about it, and he said that people were referring to him as world champion Dusty Baker, and he was saying, "Well, I'm just Dusty Baker." He said, "I don't like that world champion, or if I'm signing something, I don't like signing world champion because it doesn't feel humble." And I was thinking, I love you, Dusty Baker, love that guy, but he's got to take it. You have to take a second to soak everything in, appreciate it, because it is a lot of him the reason why they won that World Series, So it was really nice listening to Dusty's take away from the ball field. Maybe had a little bit of time to gather his thoughts and maybe think about how he felt, and instead of compartmentalizing everything at the time, because World Series like that, you may have 1,000 things to say but not know how to say it. So much emotion. But gosh. 2 days into the winter meetings, Commish, and things are looking up. I'm so excited for what's going on. I'm already excited for what's already happened. As a Atlanta Braves fan, I'm a little bummed about Trey Turner coming back to the Braves since he's a Braves destroyer. Statistically, everybody that's listening to 60 feet 6 inches, we appreciate it. But go look up Trey Turner's stats against Atlanta.
Yeah, but now with the balanced schedule,
you don't
have to face the Phillies as much as we did in the past.
Even if they are in our division?
Correct.
Okay.
Friend.
Well,
because it used to be we played them 18, played Your
18
division
times.
18 times?
Yes.
I think it's all the way down to like 12. You got that?
I don't.
You weren't
but
good at
we'll come
math.
back to it. No, I am. I'm just. Bear with me. I'm having. So you have 18 teams. Now you have 12. Right? You had 18 teams, right?
Teams? I'm not talking teams. Excuse me. I'm talking the Braves played the Phillies, 18 times?
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. 18 games. I'm sorry. 18 games against division rivals.
19 games.
Oh, 19, and now you have
rivals,
12. Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so that would be 4. You're right. Okay.
You with me?
I'm with you. I'm here. But at least you'll get to play against a lot of other teams you haven't seen in a while. Maybe we'll see Mike Trout come in, Ohtani. Maybe we'll see maybe the Mariners or something like that.
You play everybody.
Everybody.
Play everybody.
So maybe Rob Manfred did that to kind of be in good graces with everybody.
I love it.
I don't like him. Sure, he's a
I didn't
great
say
guy.
that. I said I love the news schedule type of thing.
I'm sure he's a great guy, but his decisions, my goodness. But right now at the winter meetings, you got executives there. We got D-Row and Casey there. Got Tom Verducci, all kinds of former GMs and current baseball writers, and almost every single baseball writer that's there at the winter meetings, because they were really excited talking about Fred McGriff getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, how everybody was rooting for him, which is great. Those are the things in baseball that I love seeing. I love seeing the community coming together and recognizing good players when they see them without any kind of hoopla added onto it or any kind of asterisks or anything like that.
So here are some American League teams coming to Atlanta next year. Houston,
Shoot it.
Houston.
Oh, okay.
Baltimore, Boston, Seattle. Let's see who else we got.
You would think that.
Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen that in a while. Chicago White Sox.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Windy City. I like it.
The Angels are coming here. Trout and Ohtani.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anybody else?
And this is
I'm into September.
And this is all around MLB, right, Commish? So these are, the whole league is going to be doing this.
Yeah.
So you're going to have teams that are like in the AL East playing teams that are in the NL West, stuff like that. That's going to be pretty cool. So you'll have like the Yankees playing the Dodgers or the Yankees playing the Padres. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I think you only play your division, if I'm not mistaken. What did I say, like 12? It might even be less than that.
Wow.
It might be, let's see, we play the Nationals, 10, maybe 13. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's around that number. So instead of the 18, the 18 games.
So it'll have a big of an impact enough to where you'll play a lot of teams, but a small impact to where it won't affect the division as much.
Right.
I got you.
13 games, just 12 or 13, I think.
So where this is headed, Commish, do you think, well, maybe not, but do you think that this could be maybe a new shoo-in for maybe a division change? Maybe? Like they did in
Could be. Very well could be.
Like they did in the 90s?
Maybe.
Like where the Braves were in the NL West? Like crazy stuff where you have like the East, or where you, let's just say Atlanta plays Tampa Bay and they play Boston and they play the Yankees. That'd be a pretty exciting division, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that baseball has to work out, but stuff like that reminds me of how they do, pickup games. Like MLB was supposed to play in Korea this year and they canceled it. That would have been pretty fun. But we got the World Baseball Classic this year. And have you seen the roster? Stacked. And D-Row's the manager. Did you know that?
Did not.
Yeah. That's going to be really, really fun. Pitching is insane. The outfield and the infield, the whole team itself is just, whoa. It's like like the dream team in the 90s, whenever they went overseas. And literally, Michael Jordan could have played these teams by himself, and he would have been okay. But what I love about the World Baseball Classic is ever since they took it out of the Olympics baseball, there hasn't really been much to, kind of, I don't know, where it kind of brings the country together like the World Cup. Everybody was great. Everybody that never watched soccer supported the U.S., and then whenever the U.S. lost, they were like,
did?
Oh. Right. I mean, I don't.
I didn't get it.
But, no knock on soccer fans. Y'all just stay in your lane. Well, this is baseball. But, some people watch it. They've never watched it before, but because they're feeling patriotic and they're feeling like I want to, fight strategically in a sport for my country, and then once they lose, they're like, okay, whatever. Next. What's on reality TV? So, whenever we had the baseball classic, I love seeing other talents from different countries, even if a lot of the players from the MLB are playing in their country and we still see them. But some guys that you never see, like in Australia, like I love seeing, players that we never even get a chance to see. I mean, maybe sometimes on MLB Network they'll show, coverage overseas and stuff like that. But all these teams coming together in the World Baseball Classic is really fun. And a lot of the talent that shows, especially in Japan, fundamentally locked. Japan is always fundamentally locked in. So, like, small stuff that they'll do, they may do small ball more. Of course, us in America, we're just going to go out and drop bombs and throw 100 miles an hour to see if we can just win that way. But other teams will do small ball, hit and run, stuff like that, and I love seeing that in, different countries and how different countries may pioneer the game, how they fix it. Like in America, we're all about hitting home runs, hitting dingers, drinking beer, and stealing bases. And then different countries, they may be all about hitting runs and small ball and squeezing suicides, So it's a different aspect on different games that you get to see, which is really fun. And you may even get to see potential players that may come in the MLB, maybe get posted from Japan or Korea or something like that. So that's always pretty fun. And this year, it's I've always been a big Mark DeRosa fan, so it's going to be pretty good to see what his managerial skills can kind of translate on the field, him being a player, What do you think, Commish?
No, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look forward to it.
But, the hot stove is continuing to burn. It looks like they're churning that thing, putting coal in it almost every 10 minutes. So we've got pretty much everything that's been covered so far. We got out in the open. So, this was a show that kind of just breezed by because we had so much to talk about, and that's what I love. It's always the problem where we have no info that always gives us the trouble. But usually around this time, that's usually how it does, Commish. It starts, heating up. And as of right now, Xander Bogaerts, Dansby Swanson, Aaron Judge, and Carlos Rondon are all still free agents. Probably have an idea of where Judge is going already. It's either going to be New York or San Francisco. Could Dansby land somewhere other than Atlanta? It's not likely, but it's probable. Xander, I have no idea where he's going. I don't. You have a lot of teams that have this need, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing somewhere he fits other than Boston. Maybe you could bring him back, but I don't know. But so within the last couple of weeks, Commish, we've been in the slowdown lane. We're in the HOV lane now, and we're burning right through it. And we'll be updating the off season and checking closely for signings because a lot of the big ones are out of the way, but you still have a lot of big ones that have yet to come up, to the ledge and jump. So maybe we'll see a push from a couple of their agents to say, hey, man, jump on this. Obviously, Trey Turner's agent is getting a pat on the back right now because he's getting a pretty fat check with his signing as well. So whoever Trey Turner's agent is, please give me a call anytime. You can find us on the Apple Podcast website, and you can find my email there. Please email me. But that's it, Commish. We're coming to it. Another thing is if anybody didn't know, the Liver King is a fraud. He's taking steroids. Hot take. If anybody doesn't know who the Liver King is, look him up. This guy claims that he eats raw liver, raw bison testicles, and works out, and this guy has a body of like Lou Ferrigno. And he says, I'm 100% clean. Comes out about 2 days ago, he said that he's been taking steroids. So, if you would like to...
No Hall of Fame for the Liver King.
Nope, he's done. So, if you'd like to feel the same effects by eating raw liver, we have this great company that's been sponsoring us at 60 feet 6 inches. It's called TribeVitamins.com. It's actually the bison liver that they actually sell. Commish and myself are both on them. They also have a heart complex, elk antlers, but the good thing about this liver is there's nothing else added into it. It's just bison liver, and it's got so much heme iron in it that you won't find it in any other meat. So check that out. Try Vitamins. If you really, really want to become a true liver king, then go to tryvitamins.com. No steroids included. Sales sold separately. But thanks for everybody for joining us. It's been a pleasure once again. We'll see you guys next time on 60 Feet 6 Inches. Keep your grass green and your pants dirty. So long, everybody.